3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you feel max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7, okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear, 7, Cape is go, we're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go, our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78,100, cabin pressure holding steady at 5.8, amps is 2.6. All systems are go, indicating 6 Gs. Roger, 0 G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7, you have a go, at least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0 G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit. And preparing to take xylos still at present time. This is Friendship 7, the head movement caused no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine, reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0 G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
John, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90,100, oxygen is 75,100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what would appear to be a haze layer, up some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side. The stars, I can see through it as they go down toward the real horizon, but it's a very visible single band or layer pretty well up above the normal horizon, over.
Shortly, you may observe some lights down there. You want to take a check on them out to your right, over?
Roger, I'm all set to see if I can't get them in sight. Roger, I do have lights in sight on the ground, over.
I understand it. Just off to your right there?
That's affirmative. Just to my right, I can see a big pattern of lights, apparently right on the coast. I can see the outline of a town and a very bright light just to the south of it. On down. Roger, the lights show up very well. Thank everybody for turning along, will you?
What is going on, everybody? It is 1:17 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you for I don't know how long. This is just a topic of discussion that popped up only, like 30 minutes ago or so. I found out about it because I put my daughter down for a nap, and then I looked at my phone, and I was going to plan on doing a stream anyway, and lo and behold, there is brand new Star Wars news. Very Clone Wars related. I see a lot of people in the chat are kind of puzzled by this. I don't know anything about it either. I have right in front of me the official StarWars.com announcement of a new animated series based on the Bad Batch that we saw in the final season of the Clone Wars. I have that screenshotted. I'm going to throw it up on my screen here for you guys to see, and we can read it together because I don't know anything about it either, but it sounds fun. I enjoyed the first few episodes of season 7 with the Bad Batch. It was just a nice way to jump back into the series. Obviously we know that Echo joins them. So, who knows when this is going to pick up. I would assume that maybe we'll see a little bit before. One sec.
I'm excited for this and seeing that it is Harrison Ford's birthday today and seeing that I quite enjoyed Solo, I think it's fitting to say I've got a really good feeling about this food.
There you go, Vince. Oh, shit, Caleb, I completely missed it, man. I was in the bathroom and I rushed in. I had about a minute and a half left to start the stream, and I completely missed your super chat. But Vince and Caleb, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for the support this afternoon, man. Let's knock out these couple of super chats, and then I'm going to read the official Star Wars announcement here because, like I said, I have not read it yet. Literally just sat down, screenshotted this, and I'll throw it up on my screen for you guys to read along with me. So, who knows where this is going to take place? If it's going to be a little bit before to see some background information. Oh, one sec.
See if the show will feature Echo or if
yeah, me too.
The Bad Batch before the finding of Echo.
Yeah.
What would you like the most?
I don't know, man. But let's discuss it real quick. But give me one sec. Caleb, Vince, and Edward, thank you guys so much. Caleb says, hello there. The cavalry has arrived. Indeed, they have. Clone Force 99, the Bad Batch coming in. I don't actually know their names. Does anybody know all of their names off the top of their head? I do not know. I'm sure I will find that out. I honestly don't remember. I kind of remember their personas. Wrecker, Hunter, Crosshair, Tech. There you go. Sweet. But dude, thank you so much. Give me one sec. I will absolutely get to it. Caleb Kemp, the cavalry has arrived indeed. I'm excited for this news, as a latecomer to the Clone Wars, to have kind of like a sidestep from the Clone Wars, a little off-branching. I like this more than an Ahsoka animated show announcement, to tell you the truth, because, we have a lot of Ahsoka stuff, material. It's all great. It's all fun. This is kind of going down an avenue of something that we literally don't really know much about, right? We really don't know anything about them. Other than that, they're genetically defected. Well, that's probably the wrong word to use. Genetically affected? I don't know. They're different than the normal clones. Let's just say that. But yeah, man. It'll be fun. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much as well. Seeing that I'm excited for this and seeing that it is Harrison Ford's birthday today, and seeing that I quite enjoy Solo, I think it's fitting to say I've got a really good feeling about this Fook. Vince's new thing is kind of getting around the robot voice super chat cursing filter and phonetically spelling some curse words. But I like it. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm curious. I like Edward just said, I'm curious where it's going to take place, right? I mean, the time that we meet the Bad Batch, maybe we'll go on some adventures with Echo. Maybe it will filter into that time period, but I kind of would like it to be set before. Maybe they're entwined in some events that we already know about. Maybe they're off doing their own thing, running secret missions and whatnot. That would be fun too. Kind of scoot and shoot, sabotage kind of stuff. Low key. I don't know, like Delta Force Ranger, Navy SEAL kind of stuff. But Bad Batch action, right? I dig it. Yeah, Vince. Solo, you mentioned Solo, and of course, happy birthday, Harrison Ford. He's 78, I think. Solo is one of the Star Wars movies that the more I watch it, the more I like it. I think I've seen it 4 or 5 times now. I can get past a lot of the overall things that I don't like, the very concept of the movie. I can enjoy it for what it is. It's still pretty low on my list, but, it's one of the few Star Wars movies that the more I watch it, the more I kind of just am able to sit back and absorb it and enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. And Edward, Castingway Foisey, thank you so much. I'm curious to see if the show will feature Echo or if it will be about the Bad Batch before the finding of Echo. What would you like the most? Man, I really hope it does both, to tell you the truth. I think there's a lot of material, obviously, after with Order 66. Will they succumb to Order 66? Will they, be so far off the normal route of what we know as clones that it doesn't affect them whatsoever? I think that would be a really interesting kind of story to dissect and jump into. I would love to know more about them. If this is going to be a prequel to the Clone Wars, or the prequel to the Bad Batch episodes, rather, I'm 100% on board with that. I think that would be a fun way to kind of learn more about them. And then maybe halfway through the series, it filters into where they meet up with Echo, and then we can jump into the events after we see them for the final time in season 7, right? And then lead into oh, it is Overlorded? See, I haven't read this yet. I need to read this real quick. You guys, Oscar and Overlorded, you guys care if I read this? I have not read this yet. It takes place after Order 66. Ah, okay. I did not realize that. So, guys, the reason I don't know that is because I literally saw the announcement on Twitter like 15 minutes before I started a live stream. Put my daughter down for a nap. Looked at my phone. Oh, new show. Okay. I guess I'll talk about it on a live stream, which I was planning on doing anyway. So, let me, give me a second, Super Chatters. I'm going to throw up an image on my screen here. Let me make sure I get the right thing. And let me make sure it works correctly. I haven't done this in a long time. Boom. Did that work? That worked. All right, so let's read it together, shall we? So, I apologize to everybody who already knows all this information and has read this. I have not. So, today, let's read the title. Star Wars The Bad Batch, an all-new animated series to debut on Disney Plus in 2021. Okay. Today, Disney Plus ordered its next animated series. I should have made this bigger on my monitor. There we go. From Lucasfilm, Star Wars The Bad Batch. Fresh off the critically acclaimed series finale of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the Disney Plus original series will premiere on the streaming service in 2021. Okay. Right around the corner. I'm assuming late 2021. All right, let's see. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. Okay, cool. Members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the Clone Army, each possess a singular exceptional skill, which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In the post-Clone Wars era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. Well, there's the answer, right? Giving new and this is a quote, giving new and existing fans the final chapter of Star Wars The Clone Wars has been our honor at Disney Plus, and we are overjoyed by the global response to this landmark series. While the Clone Wars may have come to its conclusion, our partnership with the groundbreaking storytellers and artists at Lucasfilm Animation is only beginning. We are thrilled to bring Dave Filoni's vision to life through the next adventures of the Bad Batch. And then you have a bunch of credits and stuff like that. Interesting. Just enough information there to wet our whistle, I suppose. So, yeah, I like it. So there's the answer, I guess. It's maybe there's going to be some flashbacks. Maybe there's going to be some lead-ins to Order 66. But, yeah, I love that idea. Obviously, it sounds like Order 66 will not affect them. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong. That doesn't flat out say that, but it sounds like maybe it won't really affect them. Yeah, me too, Kevin. Me too. The mercenary missions. Yeah, it almost seems like they're going to be running and gunning for the other side, being a part maybe of the buildup of some kind of rebellion, some kind of resistance. Not by name, not by name, but yeah, it's interesting. All right, that sounds fun to me. We'll see. Yeah. All right. There we go. There we go, Edward. But yeah, let me take a quick sip of the old water. There we go. Bid. Low Corv. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. Until the last episode of the Clone Wars, I was certain Rex was going to be the first generation stormtrooper. Star Wars Rebels certainly implied it. Interesting. Well, yeah, I haven't seen it more than the first season of Rebels. I know that is sacrilege to many of you guys, but for whatever reason, it fell victim to my horrible TV viewing habits, where I finish a show and never return to it. Yeah, it's a very messy time period, post Clone Wars, post Order 66, right? Build up of the Empire, various factions, characters, allegiances. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, well, until the last episode of the Clone Wars, there you go. That was a big answer that a question that everybody had, right? But I basically, just by virtue of being a Star Wars fan online, I kind of know how the Rebel show ends and what happens in it. So a lot of what we found out in Rebels, or that I suppose you guys found out as Rebels continued, might have spoiled some stuff in the Clone Wars, or at least made it not as nerve-wracking, because you kind of knew people's fates to begin with, But yeah. Anyway, man, I appreciate that. Sounds fun for sure. Sounds fun. And Overlorded Sith and Robert the Lawless, thank you guys so much as well. Overlorded Sith, yeah, you brought this to my attention 6 minutes ago, and I had no idea. Overlorded says Bad Batch is set after the Clone Wars, and as you guys just heard, I read the little blurb, the official announcement there. So yeah, that's exciting to me. I would have loved to have some, I'm sure there's going to be non-film, non-animated stuff that fills in the gaps leading into the Bad Batch. Maybe we'll have some background information eventually from them. I would have loved to see that, almost like a prequel to the Bad Batch, but yeah, to see how they handle Order 66, to see how they handle kind of the decimation and complete dismantling of everything they knew, right? But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But I appreciate that, man. And Robert the Lawless, thank you so much as well. I'm excited because this means we could see... there we go. Where did it go? See an Empire that still utilizes clones before Stormtroopers. It would be awesome to finally see Imperial Cody. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. Because, like I said a few minutes ago, it is a chaotic time. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of transitions from... Yeah, I mean, like you said, clones to Stormtroopers. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on in the intermediary period between, the Clone Wars and the buildup of the Empire. So, seeing all that kind of stuff, seeing technology and characters and maybe blending the old and the new, it will surely be a visual feast, right? But yeah. Yeah, Imperial Cody, maybe. I bet we'll see it. If a part of me like wants the Bad Batch show to just solely be about the Bad Batch and have like no familiar characters whatsoever in it, and just kind of like The Mandalorian be an isolated show with these new characters. I'd still consider them new characters. We only got them in 4 episodes of a TV show, or maybe 3. I think it'd be fun to just kind of have them and their tales be told with brand new cast of characters, but I'm sure that is inevitable, Robert. I'm sure that's inevitable. So yeah, it'll be neat. It'll be strange to see clones, the transition of clones to Stormtroopers, or clones being utilized, as you said, by the Empire. I'm curious how far removed from the Clone Wars this takes place. It could, I mean, shit, man, it could take place 10 years after the Clone Wars, right? They've been on the run. They've been doing mercenary missions. Maybe they've just been out there in the galaxy doing their thing, not really paying attention to the build up and everything of the Empire. That'd be interesting, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Edward Castonguay Foisey, once again, thank you so much. I'm kind of hoping we do not see any Force users. Would be a first in a Star Wars content. We could explore more deeply other stuff in the Star Wars universe. So, you know me, man. I am 100% with that idea. I've always said when I think of Star Wars, I don't necessarily think of like lightsabers or Jedi or Sith or Force powers. I don't really think of that kind of stuff. I think of blasters and X-Wings and smugglers in the cantina. You know, the used and abused, the dirty side of Star Wars. That's kind of what I think of. And to have, if this show goes down that road of no Force users, which I think we all thought The Mandalorian might have been like that, obviously until the child came along, which is a nice subtle way of kind of adding it into the show with not making it crazy and overblown, right? But I don't even want that in this show. And if we get it, which we probably will, right? It's Star Wars, and I feel like, you know, if you were to write a Star Wars story, would you... I feel like if somebody sat down to write a Star Wars story, it's almost impossible to not kind of feed into the Force or want to tell stories that involve Force users. And I get it, man. It's an incredibly fun aspect of the saga, or the franchise, rather. But, yeah, I kind of echo your statement there. I would love it to be less Force or no Force. Just kind of... Yeah, the other side of the Star Wars universe where, as it said, they're running mercenary missions, and I think that would be a lot of fun to explore without seeing a lot of Force power stuff. But yeah, man, I'm sure we're gonna see some. I'm sure the Bad Batch are gonna run into some familiar faces. I'm sure there's going to be a lightsaber in there somewhere, but yeah. We'll see. I'm sure, you know, Ahsoka might even show up at a certain time. It would not be surprising to me. But yeah. Anyway, man. I appreciate that. And I agree. And Overlorded Sith, thank you so much for the super chat once again, man. Wonder if we see Proto Stormtrooper armor. I would think so. I mean, it's kind of like when in Rogue One, right? The Stormtrooper armor in Rogue One, a lot of the Shore Trooper stuff. It's very similar. It's a very nicely blended kind of old and new, right? I thought that was a good job of kind of blending the Clone Wars or the prequel era with what we know in the OT with Stormtroopers. So there's no question in my mind that there will be a lot of new, who knows what they're going to be called. Maybe they're going to be called, maybe they're probably going to be called Stormtroopers, but I'm sure we'll see other variety of Stormtroopers, different types of Imperial armor, the evolution of kind of what becomes the Galactic Empire. Yeah, it would not be surprising to me whatsoever. But, yeah, man. Hell yeah. I would be very surprised if I can't imagine it's just going to be, boom, Stormtroopers. I'm sure there's going to be a different, a different look, a different variety. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What's up, AT-AT? Good to see you, man. Golly. What's up, Duke? Liking the sound of the show. Also, you inspired me to start running and getting in fighting shape. Like listening post-run, I'm dead. There you go, man. Hell yeah, I did 4.5 miles this morning. Been kicking my ass. I love it. Keep it up. Dude. You must have heard my spiel last stream. Late March 28th to be exact. I looked back at my text to my wife. I said, yeah, I'm going to go on a run. And that was when I started, March 28th. And then now it's July 13th, and I'm down about 23 pounds. I'm back to my post-deployment weight from 2011. I've been doing dumbbells and kettlebells with it. And, yeah, I'm getting into shape for EMT Firefighter Academy, which is going to be starting up in January. So that's been my goal since I got out of the Navy, and I've been just lollygagging with it. So hell yeah, man, keep it up. I got new running shoes yesterday, and they're goofy as hell. They are white. I should not have. Only an idiot purchases white running shoes. When I saw them on Nike's website, and I was like, oh, those look snazzy, man. Oh, those look cool. Those look like something that like a dad would wear in the 80s. Yeah, that's exactly what they look like. My wife was like, they look like grandpa shoes. I was like, yeah, they are. They have a really good running rating. But yeah, they're white with a with like speckled, almost like sprinkle soles, different color soles, and then like a black Nike check mark, and then some neon green on the back. They're super goofy, but yeah, need to be down a few pounds. This early schedule is killer on my motivation. Yeah, it's tough. Dude, it's all about routine. I found that after a couple weeks of doing it every single morning, I got into a routine, and now it's like, it's just what I do now, right? 4 months later, about 3.5 months later, it's just my morning routine. Wake up at 4:45, get running at 5 in the morning, get back around maybe 5:45 if I go 5.5 miles, which I've been doing a lot lately. That's just it's my morning coffee, it's my morning wake up. But hell, and it feels good, it's meditative. I just feel energized throughout the day because of it. So I got myself a Garmin Forerunner 45 running watch, and I'm addicted. But yeah, anyway. The Elder King Station, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. When do you think we'll see this? Okay, so you asked, when do you think Elder King Station asked, when do you think we'll see this? It says 2021. We're already halfway through 2020. I'm sure they've been working on this for a while. If I had to guess, I would say, let's see, when is Celebration 2021? Star Wars Celebration 2021. Or is it 2022 now? I can't remember. Did they cancel it to 2022? Yeah, they did. Okay, so scratch that entire concept that I had in my brain. I would guess that we will probably get it late 2021. That's my guess, just because of production, just because of all the ins and outs that have to happen. Now, this is me just purely speculating out of my ass. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how long it takes to make these shows, right? But it says it's coming out in 2021, and it was just announced today. So I would be willing to bet that it's going to come out maybe middle of next year or late next year. But that's just my guess. Now, if you're talking about in terms of when do you think you'll see this in terms of in the actual story, in the universe, it was announced on the official Disney announcement that it's going to take place post Clone Wars. What does that mean? Who knows? It could be 10 years after the Clone Wars. It could be, the galaxy is chaos. The build-up of the Empire has already kind of commenced and solidified. Or it could be directly after the Clone Wars and we see the aftermath and how they have to handle and contend with everything that's happening in the moment, right? So, I don't know. But yeah, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would put my chips on it coming out like, okay, here's my prediction, all right? Here's my prediction. Let's see. 2021 calendar. Let's see. Now, when it gets officially announced when this thing's coming out, we'll look back at this this prediction, and you guys will say, "Oh, you're a damn genius," or you're completely wrong. You had a 1 in 365 shot, and good effort. I'm gonna guess the episodes will debut on Mondays. Okay, I'm gonna guess they're gonna debut on Mondays, and I'm going to guess that the first episode will debut on October 11th, 2021. That's my guess. October 11th, 2021. That's my guess. All right, get that in your head. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. I'm doing well, Michael. Doing well. Overlorded Sith, thank you so much once again, man. Watch the show Primal. No dialogue, violent cartoon. Primal cartoon. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. It's the same guy who did the Clone Wars 2003 animated show, right? First episode was 2019. Man, I gotta watch the 2003 Clone Wars animated show before I watch this. But this looks fun. A tale of a caveman at the dawn of evolution as he forms an unlikely friendship with an almost extinct dinosaur. Well, there's a little creative licensing there, right? There was a huge gap between the dinosaurs and human beings. Millions of years. even caveman. But that's interesting. That's a fun concept. It reminds me of Turok. Do you got anybody play Turok? Turok? Yeah, Turok. Back in the day. Oh my god, when did that come out? Turok. 2008. No, it's older than that. N64. 1997. Okay. Dude, this game was fun. Wow. Looking at screenshots right now. They made more? Turok 2008. Turok Evolution 2002. Whoa, they made a lot. The last one was 2008. Turok 3 2000. Turok Rage Wars 1999. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. And then there's a Game Boy version. Huh. Alright. Well, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Turok. I don't remember ever owning it, but as kids do in the neighborhood, you go over to your buddy's house and you play the games that you don't have. And I remember doing that. I'm going to look through. I still have my Nintendo 64 box. It's in the guest room right now, which is basically chaos. It's all the stuff we don't know what to do with. I'm going to look in there. I'm curious if I have Turok or not. But anyway, I appreciate that, Overlord. And the Irish Viking. Thank you so much as well for the channel support this afternoon, man. The Irish Viking says, do you collect either Force FX or dueling lightsabers? So, Mr. Irish Viking, the only lightsaber that I have, man, is something that EA sent me for the release of Fallen Order. It's Cal Kestis' lightsaber. It's a replica. It's on a stand. It's gorgeous. It has no blade. It's just the hilt. It's really nice. Other than that, I don't collect anything, man. I don't collect anything Star Wars related or movie related or anything like that. The only thing that I would say that you could lump into a collection category, Mr. Viking, is I collect coffee mugs, shot glasses, pint glasses, and t-shirts from places that I've been. Trips that I've gone on. I have so many t-shirts and shot glasses and pint glasses from deployment. It's stupid how many I came home with. My entire locker on the ship was just full of shit to bring back. So yeah, I don't collect anything. I don't have a Force FX lightsaber. I don't have anything like that. I don't know why, man. I've never had that collector itch. Other than, like I said, places I've been, just because there's memories associated with that, and you know. So, nope, I don't collect anything like that, to tell you the truth. The only stuff that I've bought since Disney acquired the franchise in 2012 was a Black Series Kylo Ren action figure, a metal die-cast Stormtrooper action figure and like a movie poster. And that's really about it. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wynn, Elder King Station, and Oscar, thank you guys so much once again. Vince says, I hope that the Bad Batch gets in a fight with the Good Batch and that Boba Fett shows up. There was a Turok remake. Okay, this is a joke. I know. Oh, you bailed. All right. But yeah, what if the genetically altered or defective Bad Batch comes across a genetically defective batch, even more genetically defective than the Bad Batch, called the Good Batch? I'm not going to go down this road with you, Vince. But yeah, please no Boba Fett. Please no characters we're already familiar with other than the Bad Batch. I think it would just be fun. And I'm probably in the minority opinion with this, but this is kind of my sentiment through all of Star Wars. You know, whenever there's a new show announced, like The Mandalorian is the best example. I don't want any familiar faces in that show. It works so well as a standalone thing that leans on what we don't know, you know? But yeah. So, I did not know that they made a Turok remake. Let's see. HD remake PC 2015. 2015 Turok on Steam. Oh, this is the original on Steam. 1997 version is on Steam. It's $20. Okay. Come on, man. If you sold it for $5 right now, I'd buy it. Come on. Maybe not even then, because I might have it in my Nintendo 64 bin. I'll have to look. Let's see. Turok. A new Turok game's coming out. This article is from 2019. And it's really...
I figured the Bad Batch and Echo wouldn't be able to fall victim to the inhibitor chips due to the fact that Cody said the batch were defective and mutated, and I assume Echo couldn't due to his brain being tampered with.
Blake Defoe, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. Thank you so much. I will pause my rabbit hole search for Turok. Oh, Turok Remake is available on Steam. So that's the one. Wait, I'll have to look at this in a second. All right, I'm curious. All right. Blake, I think I completely agree with you. And the actual official Star Wars announcement that came out alludes to this heavily. At least from my perspective. Let me read this. Blake says, I figured the Bad Batch and Echo wouldn't be able to fall victim to the inhibitor chips due to the fact that Cody said the Bad Batch were defective and mutated. And I assume Echo couldn't due to his brain being tampered with. Yeah, that's... I think for the show, well, it would be... Blake, I think it would be really interesting if they did fall victim to the inhibitor chip. And we could see things through their eyes, like uncontrollable actions or things, you know, they would be like anti-heroes in a way, right? Because you would see them do these dastardly deeds that the audience would disagree with. And I think just as a concept, that would be really interesting. I don't think that'll happen though. But yeah, there's no question on my mind that they will not succumb to the Order 66, the inhibitor chips. Blake, the thing that I'm most wondering about is when this takes place. Now, Blake, it would be interesting if maybe one of them fell victim to it, right? That would be something interesting to see. Maybe not as a whole, but maybe one of them is just normal enough or has the inhibitor chip and it affects them differently than the other group. But it would be interesting to see, I don't know, let's just say Tech, succumb and fall victim to the inhibitor chip. And then the Bad Batch have to kind of figure out how to fix them. That might be an interesting concept to explore. That being said, I kind of have a feeling that the show will take place far after the events of Order 66, where things have kind of settled down. The chaos has turned to kind of authoritarianism. and as the description goes, the Bad Batch is running mercenary missions. That's my guess. But I think it would be really interesting if one of them fell victim and they had to kind of contend with and figure out how to fix them, you know. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Echo, but yeah, Echo's been through a lot, right? Echo's been through a lot. But Blake, yeah, a lot. Like, it's kind of fun. Something like this gets announced, and there's just enough information to like make all of us wildly speculate within reason, right? I like it. I don't want to know anything more. That's like for whatever reason, every show that comes out, and I'm not just talking Star Wars, but you watch trailers for new shows or new movies and stuff like that. They just divulge so much information. This is all I need. Maybe a trailer in the future. This is all I need. You know? It's like when with Star Wars movies too. The teaser, like the 30-second teaser that they put out before every movie, like well in advance of the trailer, is all I need. I don't need multiple trailers, right? Just give me a little taste. Jolt that excitement in my brain. And then I'll see it when I see it, you know? But yeah. Anyway, Blake, I appreciate that that ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. Hope you're doing well. Let me take a quick sip. Benjamin B, thank you so much as well. Good to see you, man. Ben says, read a leak about High Republic before they announced, had the name, time, and that the next movies would be semi-related standalones, not a trilogy. Not a trilogy. Interesting. Obviously, I don't go down the leak rabbit hole, although, yeah, I usually, as I've said ad nauseum on this channel, right? I've been in the YouTube Star Wars game for 9 years now. Leaks, rumors, all this stuff. I've seen so many come and go and fizzle out to nothing. But the idea of, so standalone movies, sure, they're fun, but I really want the next movie that we see in Star Wars, if it's going to be High Republic, I would love it to be a trilogy. I want those cliffhangers. I want those, oh my god moments where I can't wait to see what happens in the next film. You know what I mean? To me, Star Wars movies, and this is maybe my old school perspective growing up, you know, in the 90s, leading into the prequels, waiting for those movies. Maybe this is my old school perspective, but I love that, like, trilogies in Star Wars just go hand in hand with me. Spin-offs, solo movies, standalones, they can be fun, but I really want the next kind of big Star Wars film project to be a trilogy. Yeah. You said semi-related. Yeah, man. Yeah, just a new era in general is exciting to me, but I would love it to be, you know, I would love it to be a trilogy. We'll see, you know, we'll see. I am extremely excited for High Republic just because it is new, right? Getting away from the familiar and maybe looking at Star Wars through a new lens, what Star Wars can be, what different types of stories can be told, different types of characters can be shown. That's really, I'm like not super excited for the High Republic, but as a concept, I love the idea of creating something from nothing that, like, from nothing we know about, right? But yeah, anyway, I haven't been keeping up with any of the details. I know not too long ago, I think they announced, I know they pushed back the book releases, right, to next year, I think. I could be wrong about that, but I haven't really been keeping up with much Star Wars news. But yeah, man, I appreciate that, Ben. I'm in Rich, the Swag Lord. Hey, Greedo, what's this car ship setup? Is this CGI? It's super cool. So yeah, thanks for that. I made this background for the stream. It's one of my favorite things I've ever made for the channel, man. Just because it is so weird and different, and I love it. That is actually the interior of my Subaru Crosstrek. I put my camera in the back seat. I videoed myself tapping my thumb a couple times, and then I just have it on repeat, right? Everything that you're looking at on screen, other than my thumb and the star field, in that 80s like checkerboard and the dash, that's all a still image. I took a screenshot and I cropped myself out, my car out, everything, and that is on a layer itself. And then I created an animation of my thumb that's tapping there. That's its own layer. In the background, I created a star field, and that image back there is a Hubble Space Telescope photo of the Andromeda Galaxy. So, yeah, I love it, man. It's my go-to stream background. To me, it's just kind of some songs my thumb goes along with the beat, which was kind of my goal. But yeah, man, thanks for noticing. It's one of my favorite things I've ever made for the channel. I've been using it for a couple of years now. But yeah. We need an Old Republic trilogy. Amy Wynn. Yeah, that's Amy. That's definitely a sentiment that a lot of people hold, right? For me, the idea of going to eras and places, and that you know, look, we've had a lot of OT era stuff. I like it, I get it, but I want them to explore completely new and fresh ideas. And I completely get it. We like what we like. We want to see eras explored that we like. Hey, I get it that people want more prequel era stuff. I get it. Trust me. We've had a lot of the era that I like. Hey, I completely get it. I would love more prequel era stuff too. But yeah, for me, man, like, I kind of want them to just create fresh ideas and concepts and eras and characters and all sorts of stuff, right? So, yeah. Hugo, what's up, man? Oh, you've heard this spiel, right? When are we gonna... You know I can't resist this. You know I can't resist the little science lesson here. A little astronomy lesson. So, yeah, Hugo said, when are we gonna reach Andromeda? So that, out my windshield right there is the Andromeda Galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy is 2.5 million light years away from Earth. All right? 2.5 million light years. That means when the Hubble Space Telescope took this image, the light traveled through intergalactic space, and the photons landed on the Hubble Space Telescope. They traveled for 2.5 million years at the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles a second. For 2.5 million years. That's how far the Andromeda Galaxy is at the speed of light. So, if I'm traveling at the speed of light right now, and let's say we're really close. Let's just say we're 3/4 of a way there, which, judging by the size of the Andromeda Galaxy out of my windshield, we're definitely closer than that. But even still, we are maybe 1 million light years away. I don't know. Maybe less than that. I mean, the Milky Way galaxy has a diameter of 100,000 light years. If you wanted to go at the speed of light from one side of the Milky Way to the other, it would take you 100,000 years. It's big. So we got a long way. We got a long way, man. We got a long way. Where did that go? Caleb Kemp, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Caleb says, kind of meh on this. The Bad Batch are rather stereotypical, and the only thing particularly interesting is that it is post Order 66. I hope it's good, though. That was a lot of people's opinion of the Bad Batch. I remember hearing as the season 7 of the Clone Wars aired. Are they stereotypical? Yeah, it's kind of a stereotypical crew, right? You have 4 people, with not including Echo, each with their own unique abilities, their unique expertise. And is that a stereotypical concept? Yeah, we've seen that before, right? But in the Clone Wars, in the context of the Clone Wars, seeing them at the beginning of Season 7 was such a fun, different thing to experience in the show. Hell, in Star Wars, right? But I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm able to kind of detach from maybe that stereotypical perspective or the stereotypical feelings of them being stereotypical, and just look at them as good fun. I really enjoy. A lot of people thought they were assholes. I just kind of thought they were funny and fun and kind of poked fun at everybody else. They're kind of, you know, their grunts and their way to blow off some steam is to talk shit. And I liked that, you know. And maybe that stereotypical feeling, you know, Rambo bandana, it's there for a reason. It's probably purposely there, right? But yeah, we'll see. Like you, man, I was kind of hoping for maybe a little prequel action in terms of like a prequel to the Bad Batch and see them before we saw them in Season 7. I thought that would have been interesting, but to see them post Order 66 and see how they kind of contend with everything, there's a lot to unpack there, a lot to kind of explore and have fun with. So yeah, we shall see. But I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Jason? And JJ, good to see you, man. It reminds me of the crew of the Republic Commando game a bit. Oh, interesting. I only played Republic Commando once, Triple M Pro 221. So I don't really have... yeah, I never played it when it came out. I only played it for like maybe an hour on a live stream a couple years ago. From what I remember about it, when you're running around with your squad... Yeah, it's... But I don't really remember it, to tell you the truth. Anyway. Hugo, thank you so much for the channel support, man. Hugo says, does that mean we're still going to be tuning into the Lightspeed Lounge 2.5 million years from now? Well, 2.5 million years from now, I'll be deep in the Andromeda Galaxy, man. I'll be deep in that galaxy. So, I should do that, Hugo. I should create different backgrounds, like closer and closer. Maybe the next one will be, yeah, maybe the next background that I make for Lightspeed Lounge will just get closer and closer and closer. Like incrementally closer, like tiny bit closer each time, and I'll see who notices it as we get closer and closer, right? But yeah, Hugo, I love spatting that information out, man. It's fun. This is probably, if we were traveling like realistically at the speed of light, heading towards the Andromeda Galaxy, this is probably what an hour in the car would look like. Not much change. The only difference would be that there would be no star field flying by me. You would not see stars flying by me. When you're in intergalactic space, it's not like there's stars out there. Stars are clustered, you know, in galaxies. So it's not like we would be seeing stars blowing by my windshield, in my windows. It would just be darkness, and on the horizon there would be the Andromeda Galaxy, right? But yeah, anyway, hell yeah, Hugo, I appreciate it, man. What's up, Stuart? How did I get to perform with Weird Al, Delta Leader 36? It was just an all call for people with Stormtrooper armor, 501st members, and I was lucky enough to get chosen and got to get on stage with Weird Al. Yeah, if you guys go on my Twitter, scroll back a little bit, a couple days ago, I posted a picture of me with Weird Al and the inside of my Stormtrooper helmet. He has he signed the inside of my Stormtrooper helmet and it's been there ever since. Have you considered playing Space Engineers? Blaze's World. Yeah, I know what it is. But man, it's been a long time since I've sat down to play a game on my PC. It's just a matter of time. Space Engineers looks like something I actually own it. So, I'm looking at my Steam list right now. I own it, and I've played it for 2 hours. And the last time that I played it was June 29th, 2014. It's been 6 years since I've played it, man. So, yeah, the last game that I played was Red Dead over the weekend. I played for an hour while my daughter napped. That's basically the only game that I play nowadays. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to play more games, but it's just a matter of time, you know. If I'm not with my daughter during the day, I'm working on stuff, non-HelloGreedo stuff, HelloGreedo stuff. That's just how it goes, but... While on the topic of space, which Carl Sagan novel would you recommend after Pale Blue Dot? Hugo. The Demon Haunted World is great. It's just called Demon Haunted World. Let me read a little synopsis. Oh, it is the Demon Haunted World. The Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark, is a 1995 book by the astrophysicist Carl Sagan, in which the author aims to explain the scientific method to lay people and to encourage people to learn critical and skeptical thinking. It's great. It's great. That's highly recommended. It's with a lot of, you know, if you read Cosmos, and they're all great. All of his books are great. I only don't own a couple of them. I'll have to take a picture of my Carl Sagan collection. But Demon Haunted World is like forever topical. You know, it's forever important. You know, with a lot of the other... If you go back and read science books from the 70s or even earlier than that, or even the 80s, some of the information has been built on and has been... not corrected, but honed and studied and made more precise. You know what I mean? Science is an always evolving study. More data comes in, a broader picture is kind of absorbed. So when you go back and read a lot of science books, you know, some of the information might be a little off or not jive with new information. But the Demon Haunted World is forever topical because it is, you know, a book about the scientific method, and as the description says, it's encouraging people to learn critical and skeptical thinking. So, yeah. Oh, you didn't like Red Dead, White Wolf? Oh man, I love it. It's probably my all-time favorite game. I've logged about 50-something hours. I checked over the weekend in the game, and I am only like 50-something% done with the main story. I've been just doing everything in the game. I love it. I have a buddy who doesn't like it either, and he was really excited for it too. And the reason he doesn't like it is the reason that I love it. He doesn't like it because, like, the long stretches of nothing. And I'm like, dude, that is the reason that I love it. Long stretches of nothing. You might go off the beaten path and meet somebody and go down another quest line. I love it. I love it, man. It's probably going to, when I'm done with it, and maybe even right now, it might be my all-time favorite game. But, yeah. So much in it. It's it never fails to surprise me. It's the variety in that game. It's not like a lot of other games, you know, you kind of know what you're going to be doing and it's going to be the same repetitive shit, but Red Dead is just like variety on top of variety. I love it. I love it. Yeah, what's up, JJ? Yeah, I know. I need to play it for sure. Last of Us 1 and 2. I did play maybe like 6 or 7 hours of the first one when it first came out, and then I sold my PlayStation 3. That's just, you know me. But yeah. Anyway. So, an hour on the dot, ladies and gentlemen. An hour on the dot. We were shooting for I actually didn't give a specific time, but we usually don't go longer than an hour, which is cool. But tonight is going to be the supporter Q&A. So all the fleet members that are on right now, if any patrons are watching or listening right now, the supporter Q&A will be tonight live on the channel at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So I will be here, and I hope you will be too. So, all right, guys. That is it for me today. Hope you guys are excited for Bad Batch show, whatever it's going to be. Sounds fun. Yeah. So, to everybody who supported the channel through Super Chats, thank you guys so much. The channel survives because of you guys. To everybody who tuned in and just shot the shit with everybody, thanks for hanging out. So, to everybody, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!